Hello everyone, thanks for joining my session. Embrace ChatOps by following the Git flow as usual. Before I get started, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. I am a Linux Foundation APAC evangelist, Jenkins contributor, CDF ambassador, a DevOps software engineer in Qingcloud. I did a lot of contributions in open source community, such as Jenkins and Qingcloud. Qingcloud community focus on cloud native area. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you are interested in. I guess some of you might already know a little bit about the ChatOps, but in order to make us on the same page, please let me introduce it a little bit. ChatOps is mostly thought of as using chat tools like Slack to communicate and execute scripts and commands. It is very easy to understand it. For example, we don't need to open a platform or system, just need to type the command on the chat box so it can execute the scripts or commands. For example, we can deploy an application on an environment. Just type the deploy command. It is very convenient, isn't it? But today I'm going to introduce another type of ChatOps. It is SCM webhook based. Users can get feedback and chat on issues and pull requests. And I believe this is the right place for developers to collaborate with each other, because all developers always need to commit their codes and do the review work on Git provider, such as GitHub. So they don't need to open a new tools. So they don't need to open a new platform or system. Just use the GitHub as usual. Prow is a very awesome project. Comes from Kubernetes community. It has a lot of amazing features. Job execution. This job can be pre-submit or post-submit. In my opinion, submit equals to pull request merge. So pre-submit can execute before the pull request get merged. Pluggable commands with /foo style. So if you want to type a command, just type /foo, for example, /look good to me or /hold. It is very easy. Force configure the policies or processes. This is also very important for us. We don't need to rely on human beings, but the GitHub merges automation with batch testing logic. It is very convenient. We don't need always wait. The Prow will merge your pull requests automatically once your Prow will merge your pull requests once they are Prow will merge your pull requests once they match the Prow will merge your pull requests once they match some particular labels. For example, look good me or approved. Designed for multi-org scale with dozens of repositories. For many teams, they have a lot of repositories, even across some orgs, so this is very convenient for a big team. Config updater. This plugin or feature can help us to update the configuration of Prow. It is very convenient. I will tell the details later. High availability as benefit of running on Kubernetes. Prow's components runs as a deployment, so it is very easy to have many replicates, and it can have the high ability premise metrics. This kind of feature can help us to monitor the Prow instance. Today's main character is Lighthouse. I will have a comparison between Prow and Lighthouse. Prow comes from Kubernetes and it can only support GitHub, but Lighthouse can support many different Git providers. Typically, Lighthouse can support all kinds of Git providers such as GitHub, Gitlab, Gitea, Bitbucket, and Gox. So, as you can see, Prow is not friendly integration, but Lighthouse can integrate with other systems easily. And Prow is part of the Kubernetes test infra project, and Lighthouse is a independent project, so we can do the contribution easily. But Lighthouse still has some drawback. For example, Prow has hundreds of contributors, but Lighthouse only has tens of contributors. Prow has plenty of plugins, and Lighthouse has a few of plugins. But fortunately, Lighthouse and Prow have the same codebase, so it is very easy to reuse the plugins from Prow. Okay, next step, let us talk about the installation. It is very easy to install it. Just need to add the Helm chart repo and update it, then install it. Before we get deep into it, you need to know some key configurations. The first thing is Git provider type. You need to choose one of them. It could be GitHub, Gitlab, or others. And please provide a Git user and token. I'd suggest you to choose a bot account instead of your personal account. Git webhook token. This is important. If you want to execute some pipeline job, so you need to choose a engine type. It could be JX, Tecton, Jenkins. Then provide the pipeline engine connection, such as URL, username, and token. So if your Lighthouse is ready, then please let me introduce the basic usage. These basic usages are common in Lighthouse. Firstly, command prefix support. All commands have the prefix lh, aka Lighthouse, or not. For example, you can type the command /hold or /lh-hold. This is very important. For example, Gitlab supports some commands, so conflicts might happen between Gitlab and Lighthouse, but the prefix support can avoid it. Second, active or passive mode. Some plugins will triggered by user. Another will triggered under some conditions. For example, if you have a pull request and has the WIP prefix, then the plugin will add a WIP label automatically. Third, remove effects. Let's say if you find a bug and you can type the command /kind-bug. It will add a label with kind bug. But later, you find it is not a bug, so you can just remove the label by /remove-kind-bug. Okay, I will introduce you some important plugins. First is welcome. Every single repository can be customized. You can give a customized sentence to welcome your contributors. You can have a notice for the newcomers to let them know some notice about your repository. Help plugin. If you want helps from other contributors, you can just type /help and it will mark current issue needs help. Hold. Normally, we hope our pull requests can be merged automatically, but in some conditions, we don't want that. For example, I might need more manual tests, so I just type the /hold command. It will block the automatically merge until I believe my manual test was done. So I can just unhold it. Size plugin. This plugin will indicate the size of a pull request automatically. It is important for the reviewers to review the pull request. Override plugin. Sometimes the maintainer might want to force the job states be success, so you can use this command. Life cycle. This plugin can manage issues and pull requests life cycle. For example, you can close, reopen your issues, but you don't need to be author or a maintainer. It is impossible without Lighthouse. Owners plugin. Normally, only the committers can commit the changes to your Git repository. And sometimes it's inconvenience because you always need to grant the full permission to a user instead of some particular directory. But with this plugin, you can have a owner file to record all owners. The owners can have the permission on some particular directory. Trigger plugin. This plugin can trigger a pipeline with name, such as it can trigger an E2ER performance test. Normally, E2ER performance test will last a long time, so you don't want to run it a lot. Configure Updater. This is an awesome plugin. It can update the configuration as GitOps way, and you don't need to have the permission to control your Kubernetes cluster. Job execution. Lighthouse supports two kinds of pipeline engine. It could be Jenkins or Gitea. The job could be pre-submit or post-submit. Pre-submit jobs triggered by a user's comment. For example, /test a name. Post-submit triggered once a pull request gets merged. This is suitable for cost-aware job, such as E2ER performance test. Okay, I want to show you how to add a Git repository to your Lighthouse. First, you need to grant admin permission to your bot account. Second, add a webhook. The payload URL looks this. It ends with hook. Content type is application/JSON. The secret is optional, but I highly recommend you have it. Then, please check send me everything, for example on GitHub, so it will send all kinds of events to your Lighthouse. Third, Lighthouse config. You need to add the configuration on plugins config map. The scope could be org/repository or just org. Handson. This is the last part. I will demonstrate how to use Lighthouse on issues, pull requests, and update config. Okay, let's assume we have a bug. This is a fake bug. So I just need to type current bug. Wait it for a second. So you can see it. This account add a label current/bug. So let's assume this is not a bug. So you can remove it. Okay, our bot account will remove this label. And we also can add other labels. I will create a new file and create a pull request new file. You can see the bot account add two comments here. This indicates the pull request is very small, extreme small. And if I believe my pull request is still work in progress, then I can have this prefix. You see, it will add a label, do not merge, work in progress. This is passive plugin. If I done with this request, I can remove this prefix. Okay, as you can see here, there is a pending states. It indicates not mergeable, needs 3 labels: approved label, look good to me label, and ready label. I can tap this label ready. But please don't forget, I can't use this. As you can see here, now I just need 2 labels: approved and look good to me. But I don't have the permission to add the labels. I can use another account. Okay, I can tap look good to me here. It will add the label. And I also can tap approve. Actually, I also can add this label manually. Okay. So just let us wait it for a second. This pull request can be merged later. Okay, Lighthouse tell me should not have needs OK to test the label, because we don't test it yet. So if I want to test it, I can tap E to E test. As you can see, I get a response. It tells me cannot trigger testing until a trusted user reviews the pull request and leave OK to test message. This because I don't have the permission, so I need to use my another account. I will left this comment OK to test. So this command adds OK to test the label and remove needs OK to test. Now I can test it. So as you can see, this pull request was merged automatically. I can delete this branch. The last part, I will show you the update config. As you can see, I have 3 configure files here. This part, it can allow us to update the configuration automatically because I have a plugin here. This is my repo, current repo. In this repo, I only have one plugin, config updater. So I'm going to try to test it. Let's assume I make this to 10 and create a new branch. Create. So this is an excellent response. It tells me my configuration is invalid. One of the smaller size is bigger than a large one. So I'm going to change it because this is 10 and this is 0, so I can type, for example, 80. Commit it again. As you can see, the validation is successful, but we have 3 commits here. How should I do if I want to squash and merge it? You can see here. As you can see here, if I have a label test/squash, then Lighthouse will squash it. So I can type here label ready and label test squash. Because Lighthouse don't allow the author type the approved and look good to me, so I will add it manually. The bot account merged it automatically, so let's check the merge method. As you can see, Lighthouse just merge and squash it automatically. Thank you all for listening to my session. Thank you all for Thank you for all. Thank you all for watching my session. You can follow me on the link. You can follow me on the LinkedIn, Twitter, or GitHub.